Hi, family. And
Hi, hi. And sis, I think it's time you changed your clothes.
hey,
Me too.
oh my
Was it 4 or 5 days in a row? Again.
God.
Why do we keep doing this?
Uh, I'll try. I'll go back to Target, see what else they got. Okay. Sis, you are going to read lesson 240. This is such a good one. They're all good. Just really love the power in this lesson. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Lesson 240. Fear is not justified in any form. Fear is not justified in any form. Hmm. Fear is deception. It attests that you have seen yourself as you could never be, and therefore look upon a world which is impossible.
Can you read that one more time?
Let me just start this whole thing again. Fear is deception.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. But it's 100% deception.
Yes.
Because the ego says, oh no, some fear is still good. We need it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Fear is deception. It attests that you have seen yourself as you could never be,
Never.
and therefore look upon a world which is impossible.
Keep going.
Okay. Not one thing in this world is true, in the world that we see through the lens of fear, right? The ego filter. Not one thing in this world is true.
God, we just stop right there.
Yeah.
There's not one thing in this world that's true. The you that you think you are is an impossibility. It is all deception. Anything that arises from fear, and the thought of separation is the thought of fear. So this guy and its world and time and space and its relatives and its story and its past and its problems and the things it's pursuing and the things it's defending itself and its special relationships,
And its ultimate goal, which is
death,
death.
the tombstone, right? Oh my gosh, you guys, let's really get this today. Let's really just accept this. Give yourself the gift of accepting that the truth is true, that what he's saying is actual. Not one thing is true. Keep going, sis.
Okay. It does not matter what the form in which it may appear. That's a big one.
Yes.
It doesn't matter the form in which the untrue appears.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be disease, it could be physical pain, it could be aging, it could be death, it could be diabolical relationship conflict, breakup.
Or it could be success in business, or it could be like the perfect body, or the hot sports car, or the really nice pet, home with all the, it's like it's anything that we're doing apart from God.
It's all
Any
the
sense of
positives and
ourselves.
the negatives, right, sis? Are you saying?
Positives, yes,
Yeah.
all the positives and the negatives in the gap. None of it's true. All of it is an effort to see yourself as you could never be. You're trying to be a body. You're trying to be a human being.
Right. So all of what's happening in the gap
Mm-hmm.
serves the same simple purpose, which is to confirm
Mm-hmm.
that we are a body identity.
That's right. Separate.
That's it. Separate.
How
With
simple.
each of us with private minds that have separate agendas that
Clashing.
clash with somebody else's.
That's
Right.
right.
Okay. Good. Line number 5. It witnesses but to your own illusions of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Fear does, right? Let us not be deceived today. we are the sons of God. There is no fear in us, for we are each a part of love itself.
And there's the basis for the positive separation.
Right.
If this whole thing is fear, and we are love, made, created by love, for love, in love's image and likeness, are we here? Is that you? Is this your story? How could it be when fear and love are totally opposite, and the presence of the divine love in your awareness is this, right? Here's the illusion, temporary sense of separation, never been true. This is the felt state of our innocence and the love, and that the separation has not occurred.
Thank you. The second paragraph of lesson 240 is, he uses an exclamation mark here. He's really trying to drive it home.
Yeah.
How foolish are our fears? Would you allow your son to suffer? Give us faith today to recognize your son and set him free. Let us forgive him in your name, that we may understand his holiness, his innocence, which is ours, and feel the love for him, which is our own as well.
Is that what the last sentence says? Which is your own? That is your own. Okay, got it. You're right. And feel the love for him that is your own as well.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So I want to share a couple of quotes here from, where's this from? It's from lesson 160. I am at home. Fear is a stranger here. Fear is a stranger to the ways of love. Identify with fear, and you will be a stranger to yourself. I'm going to say that again.
Mm-hmm.
Identify with fear, and you will be a stranger to yourself, meaning your only self, your holy self. And thus you are unknown to you, unknown to yourself, unrecognized to yourself.
That's it.
What is your holy self remains an alien to the part of you, the ego, which thinks that it is real, but different from yourself. Mm-hmm. Who could be sane in such a circumstance? Great question. Who but a madman could believe he is what he is not and judge against himself? Then he goes on to say this: there is no home, meaning ourself here, that can shelter love and fear. They cannot coexist. If you are real, and you are, meaning the Christ you are, the holy self, if you are real, then fear must be an illusion. And if fear is real,
you are not.
Guess what? You do not exist at all. Talk about making the positive separation. He's really driving it home and asking us to do so, to make that positive separation. You can't mix a little bit of fear with a bit of love. It's impossible, because love and fear are mutually exclusive thought systems.
Right.
Only love is real and fear doesn't exist.
So can you love the fear?
Are you joking me? No.
Just playing the doo-doo head here.
Yeah, you do head, all right.
Yeah.
And, and further, if I am fearful and I'm really believing the fear, then what's really happening is I'm afraid of God.
Right.
I am terrified of the love he and his son is, which is what I am. Yeah. If I'm fearful, that's the underlying source of all fear is the fear of God. Everything we see in the gap
Mm-hmm.
has this fear of God underpinning it, every single thing. But are we willing to go right down underneath and to have a look at what we're really terrified of? The fear of God, which is totally, totally unjustified. So, yeah.
Yeah. And to realize that communion with God is our natural state. So the thoughts of God and our thoughts are the same, and we're in communion or communication with God all the time. And so if love is the substance of God and the substance of what we are, the introduction of the thought of fear is what stopped the communication, right? So that's how we clip ourselves off from the memory of God and from what we are. So fear would seem to temporarily shunt our awareness of our communion with God off. And so that's what all of this is for. The body represents the fear that cuts us off from the love of the Father. Anything that we're doing in the gap and seeing in the gap. If we're looking at illusions create fear and guilt in our mind. The storylines that we're under create more fear in the mind. All of this is just to give, it's like a big hairball in our pipeline between our communion between our mind and God's mind. This is just, I don't want to hear love. I want to defend myself from love. And the way that I do that is to have some fearful thought. He's saying none of it's justified. None of it's real. You are still loved. God still loves you. It is what you are. And only fear needs to be forgiven. Not the story. It's just the underlying fear. Yeah. Anyway, it's good to come back and just put it down into terms of communication.
Yeah. And at the practical level, we need to go back to chapter number 2 in the text. Where he speaks of true denial. And he says, I can't help you while you're in fear.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. And yet how often do we, on our knees, go, take this fear from me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're actually praying for him to take things away in here, right? But if we want the underlying fear because we're terrified of God, how can he help us? Our real desire is, don't you dare take this from me. I mean, I want a happier illusion. I want a better mythical body. I want something. I just want.
Hello. Anybody home? Oh, hello. We're back. Are you moving?
Yeah, all of the power just shut down across my whole house. Sorry, everybody. I gotta come. Yeah.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to edit that part out because that was about 5 minutes. It felt like.
Really? Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. How do we do that? Just fear is not justified in any form. So really what the biggest point we want to drive home is that the entire gap is all predicated on the idea of fear, which seems to, block our awareness of union with God. It blocks communication with God. And it's all deception. So we can forgive the entire thing altogether. None of it's justified because none of it comes from God. I think these are really powerful words that we're seeing ourselves as we could never be and look upon a world which is impossible. If we could just meditate on that.
Yeah. Especially when we're triggered.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just at any time now, if I'm coming from mythical me, then I'm seeing myself as I've never been, and I'm seeing an impossible world through the filter of that impossible person. I know it seems like a stretch, but it's a great practice. Like, what is here? How foolish are our fears? Give us faith today to recognize your Son and set him free. Free through how? Through Christ's vision, through overlooking the veil and the mythical me and knowing that there's something there to behold, the light. That's our same shared identity. That's the forgiveness. Okay. I don't know, sis, anything else? Sorry about that.
No. Don't say sorry about anything because nobody knows about it. We're keeping secrets, guys.
Okay.
The internet went out at a very, very strong point where Coreen was slaying the ego. And so the ego decided, hey, let's shut the power off. So we lost the internet.
Yeah,
but we're hoping to have edited out that long 3 or 4 minutes of no video. Yeah.
Right. So if it doesn't flow beautifully towards the end, you'll have to forgive me.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Forgive the ego, not you.
Yeah. Let it go. Lesson 240, fear is not justified in any form.
Right.
That's the good news.
Yes, I feel much better now after that.
Thanks, sis. Thanks, family. We'll catch you next time with a new blouse.
And don't forget the 4 points, guys. If you really want to help us to get this message out to the world,
subscribe.
4 points. Subscribe. Yep.
Like.
Hit the like button.
Share. And comment.
Wow. You're better than me.
Only took me a month to get that one down. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any help's deeply appreciated. All right. We love you, and thank you again for the joining.
We really do love you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, sis.
Bye.